Hey everyone, it's Talody and welcome back to your Dry Delight. Now, in the last episode, we learned that we are a undercover detective trying to solve some kind of case. I'm not sure exactly what case, but we go to this club, a really nice club. We meet this gentleman who buys us drinks and he is addicted to coffee. But apparently he knew we were an undercover detective all along. He was totally cool with it and we even kissed him. So, holla! But anyways, let's check what our relationship is gonna be now. Because I'm really curious. Yay! Morning, boss. I stumbled into the office, feeling like a corpse dragged out of its grave. Coffee. Ugh. Richter? This is the second day in a row you've come in looking like a bedraggled cat. Bedraggled cat. I like that word. Bedraggled. That's cool. Do we need to have an intervention? Just couldn't sleep. Christ, something really is messed up when Leslie shows up at work before me. He lets out a long, playful sigh, shaking head before taking a sip of his coffee. Well, don't keep me in suspense. Your escapades last night, of course. What happened? What did you find out? Oh, yeah, right. Do we even find out about anything? With my own coffee mug in hand, I sit down in my chair, clearing my throat. I'm going to have to leave out some of the details here, I think. My new friend, Mr. Mayor Eastman, well, he gave me some information about the powerful mob players in the city. Seems like he's really into the loop, eh? The already pale Leslie seems to suddenly grow a shade paler. He slowly sets down his coffee and leans forward over his desk, brow furrowing as he stares at me. Did you say Eastman? Sure did, boss. Why? Why? Yes? Are you losing your hearing already, boss? You're not that old. Whoa, because Eastman is the man running all of Cleveland. That's why. Leslie raised his voice in excitement and frustration, slamming his fist down on his desk. All of Cleveland? Yes, all of Cleveland. I found out about him last night at that party I went to. He's well liked and hugely powerful, and most of Cleveland's Italian mafia is terrified of him. I don't know how on earth he managed to get in his good books, but Eastman is a key to taking down the city's liquor business. Oh my goodness, we kissed the leader. Whew. In fact, I think that speakeasy itself might be his main base. After we get a bit more information, we should set up a raid. Ooh, a raid. Ooh. I figured Mayor was powerful, but I had no idea he was running all of Cleveland. Leslie's right, obviously. Our department is supposed to be working with the FBI to enforce prohibition here, which means shutting down criminal outfits. This should be a huge step forward. If that's the case, then why'd I feel so reluctant? It's not like Meyer trusts me. In fact, I'm sure he doesn't, but I can't imagine putting him behind bars. Last night I could probably think of putting him behind handcuffs though. Oh man, that's terrible. Last night was probably just a game. His attempt to manipulate me into his side, and yet it didn't feel like that at all. Oh, Richter. Are you spacing out? Do you need more coffee? I snapped back at the moment, greeted by a curious Leslie staring at me quizzically. No, I was just thinking, boss. We're going about this the wrong way. The wrong way? You have a different idea? When I nod, Leslie tilts his head to the side, motioning for me to continue. If there's anything I can give him credit for, is that he's usually willing to listen to what I say, even if I'm the junior partner. That's a good partner, you know? Like, that's a really good boss, you know, hearing his employees, you know, like, listen to their ideas, because a lot of bosses don't, you know, at least not the bosses I've had. Let me keep talking to Eastman. I'll get more details out of him, I promise. We shan't throw him in jail, not yet. Leslie stares at me in stunned silence. Does it really sound that strange? This is such a good forbidden love. Did you hit your head on your way home last night, Richter? This is a mob boss we're talking about. He's dangerous, not in line to be the next pope. I don't know what he said to you, but you shouldn't believe him. Just because he hasn't killed you yet, doesn't mean he won't. Once you've outlived your usefulness, haven't you thought about that? His frustration skipped the words echo my own thoughts, as much as I hate to admit it. Maybe it's stupid to try and deny them, but before I can control myself, I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. He kissed me! He's not a murder machine, Leslie. He's not a one-sided villain who was born bad. Aw, he's in love. Sure, most mobsters out there are useless bastards, but so are a lot of the normal people. Mafia guys aren't some special breed, evil to their rotten cores. Mayo, he's a businessman. He's using the law for profit. I know that, and I'm not saying I think it's right. But after talking to him, spending time with him, kissing him, falling in love with him, seeing how he's just a guy like any other, I'll be damned if I don't have more sympathy for him than whatever rich old highbinder is handing down orders in the FBI. Oh. Leslie stays quiet, biting his bottom lip, a nervous habit of his, and avoiding my gaze for all time. I never raised my voice at him, nor anyone else for that matter. I instantly feel a little sheepish about it, but I didn't know how else to express my change of heart. Finally, Leslie rubs at his eyes with one hand and gently sighs, a small smile twitching at the corners of his lips. He stands up from his desk and walks over, giving me one of those affectionate, what am I going to do with you looks. I guess I'm not all that surprised. You've always been compassionate and honest, probably why you're a terrible liar. He pauses, reaching out to gently ruffle my hair. There's still a worried crease in his brow, but I think he's trying his hardest to believe in me. If you really think this man isn't out to just screw us over, and he'll be out of use to the investigation somehow, then I suppose I'm willing to go along with it, for a little while at least. Boss, a little while, I said. Hey, what? I jump out of my chair and pull Leslie in a hug, tightly squeezing his weary frame. He stands for a moment, but eventually wraps his arms around me too, softly patting my back. I sure hope you know what you're doing, Richter. If something ever happened to you, well, let's just say I have a hard enough time living with myself already. Why? Because you're so high maintenance? Exactly. You know how many times a day I have to feed myself? It's very difficult, and having guilt on my shoulders won't help things any. I'll be fine, boss. Don't worry about me. As we pull apart, I gaze down to Leslie's face for a moment. I love Leslie. He's cute. I like his hair. And I love his eyes. You know? He still doesn't look fully convinced, and it's perfectly reasonable we're paid to be suspicious. I'll bring him around to the idea eventually. If everything works out, he's open-minded to just about anything given enough time. Except vegetables, maybe. After we discuss things a little more, Leslie and I settle about our usual routine of paperwork, calls, and more paperwork. It's not like our work normally flies by, but today, they always seem especially long. At last, evening rolls around. When I head outside, my feet start to take me down a familiar road before I even realize it. He's going to see his lover boy. How cute. Welcome, sir. Please enjoy your night. Oh, don't worry, I will. Loud music rushes over me in a wave. The familiar sea of dancers, lights, and sparkling glasses. This place is starting to grow on me. To my surprise, I spot Mayo already standing at the bar, cup of coffee in hand, as he chats with the bartender. Should I go up to him? I don't want to come off too strong. Maybe I should casually start a conversation with someone else and wait for... You don't have to. He comes to you, honey. He comes to you. Just as I mull over my plan, Mayo's gaze meets mine. He instantly breaks into a warm smile, beckoning me over. Phew. I wander towards the bar and step up beside him, clearing my throat to buy time as I figure out what to say. Well, seems like my detective wandered back to me. Did your flock of officers decide to come along today too? No, I left them at home with the sitter. Good. I can tell you how disappointed I was when they decided to interrupt. His suggestive, airy murmur sends a tingle down the back of my neck. At least, I wasn't the only one who was disappointed. Yeah, well, I was really looking forward to the rest of that cake. I'm afraid I enjoyed the rest of it by myself, but I was thinking of you all the while. Does that make you feel any better? Not one bit. Mine lets out one of his deep chuckles, low and comforting. It always seems like his sly, evasive mask melts away for a split second whenever he laughs, betraying something vulnerable. Listen, Richter, if you'd prefer, we can always linger out here and talk. As As much as I want to savor all of you in private, I'm more than happy to just enjoy your company, discussing whatever flights of fancy we have. I probably shouldn't have said that. I imagine my seductive air of mystique is all but ruined for you now. Seduction? No, I hadn't even... Never mind. I haven't even thought about that. Oh no, I haven't. No. His leg lightly brushes mine underneath the bar and out of sight. He's so bold, this guy. I can't see how he got into his line of work. No doubt about that. Actually, I want to ask you some more serious questions. Perhaps he might work better, just, as a precaution. Oh, of course. I have no doubt that your reasons are entirely... Ah! It's the cops! At that moment, the speakeasy door flies open. A small group also rush in. No! Screams echo through the parlor after the music cuts out, but the cacophony quickly goes silent. No! Eastman's men can't even reach for the guns. The officers are already aiming at their own. No! Leslie! You cock blocker! What the hell? And at the head of the group stands Leslie. Richter! The second our eyes meet, he rushes over to me, releasing a huge sigh of relief. Richter, thank God you're not hurt. I thought for sure that... We had an agreement, Leslie, didn't we? How can you just storm in here after me? Don't you trust me? When I manage a chalked accusation, Leslie just shakes his head, eyes narrowed. It's not about trust, Richter. It's not even about the job. To hell with information gathering. The thing I care most about is keeping you safe. Oh, Leslie, you're too honest, too trusting, and I can't let you just run around with people like this, even for the sake of an investigation. He gashes at mine angrily, apparently have guessed his identity already. No, Leslie was really worried about me. I bet Leslie had a crush on you. He's jealous. I knew he was so concerned. I just didn't think he'd go this far. He's jealous, boo. It's not you. It's him. He's jealous. Oh no. Mayo, who's been entirely silent this whole time, watches us with a carefully measured expression. How can he be so calm? He had no idea this was going to happen, did he? Gentlemen, I believe there's been some severe miscommunication. Please, Mr. Leslie, tell your men to load their weapons. Then we can discuss things calmly without the threat of accidental bloodshed. Agreed? Oh yeah, Maya's definitely the most handsome one. Like, the way he stands, he screams confidence, while Leslie just screams like a little tattletale. Leslie hesitates. There's a very strange degree of trust going on here, but I get the sense that neither of them wanted to end the violence. I know Leslie hates hurting anyone, even criminals, and Maya doesn't seem the type to enjoy it either. Understood. He seems to the officer, who slowly, reluctantly lowered the guns. Tension in the room eased a little bit, though it's still far from calm. Let me say first, Mr. Leslie, that I entirely understand your concern for your partner's safety. But you see, after our friend Richard here showed up the other night, I was struck with an idea. I knew he was a detective before he so much as walked in the door. Your informant's working for me, so I decided to have a chat with him. You mean, back there, that was... Don't get me wrong, Richard, I was enjoying every second of it, but I've been looking for a way to work out an arrangement with the law in Cleveland for some time. You're a hard-headed sort here, let me tell you. He exhales a breath between his teeth, gently shaking his head. Richard, however, I could tell he was made of something different. Not so hell-bent on enforcing the Volstead Act, yet not just the type to be bought either. I was intrigued, so I thought I'd try to work out a deal, as is my way. Last night was supposed to be the beginning of that deal, but, well, I was enjoying the company so much that I thought to myself, what harm could it be to wait a little while longer? When Mine's glimmering eyes still on me, I feel my heart skip a beat. Maybe several. He invited me back to make a deal, but it spiraled into something more because he enjoyed my company. So you really believe we won't try to arrest you? It was a calculated risk, of course. Mike casually waves one hand. The way he keeps this kind of sang-froid, even while surrounded by the law. No wonder he's the leader. Oh, he's such a powerful man. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I like to make big gambles, as usually they pay off. But I've done my research on your backgrounds, your past jobs. I knew you wouldn't simply raid my venue without sharing a few of your cards first. So, you could say the chips landed where I thought they might. Leslie rubs his cheek with a hand, blinking rapidly, as if to try and understand everything we just heard. I can't blame him. I knew Mayo was shot, but I had no idea he'd planned everything out ahead of time. You know, even though we're the ones without guns out, I can't shake this feeling that we played right into your hand. You really do live up to your reputation, don't you? I was expecting Les to be furious, but instead he sounds more oppressed than anything. Is it possible he actually took some of my words to heart back in the office? You mentioned a deal earlier. Can you care to explain what kind of deal we're talking about? Ha, I was hoping you'd ask that. A particular satisfied smirk colors on Maya's lips, the type a man wears when he's just won at cards. Gambling. Why don't we discuss matters privately on a neutral ground? I'll even let you pick the spot. All of us is armed, with a few of our men waiting outside. A moment, if you don't mind. Leslie grabs my sleeve and pulls me aside, leaning up to whisper my ear. You really trust him enough to do this? Normally I say it's suicide, but this Mayo, he's not like any other man I've ever met. It's like talking to the chief of a big corporation, not a mafia leader. He scratched his head, clearly baffled. It's not like I can't blame him. I felt the same way when I first met Mayo the other night. I know he doesn't mean us any harm, boss. He's still a gangster, I can't deny that, but... I paused, swallowing. Better words, things delicately, or else Leslie might catch on. I think he genuinely wants to work out a deal with us. All of this will be way too much trouble otherwise. My thoughts exactly. You think we should hear him out then? Without hesitation, I nod. Maybe it's an incredible stupid decision. But I can't bring myself to believe all of last night was just a means to an end. If you don't mind me saying, Mr. Leslie, I gather you're the type to take precautions. Maya pipes up eerily, and we both glance over towards him. Should the two of you not show up in perfect health tomorrow, I'm certain I'll have a big house on my hands. And that's not what I want, I assure you. You really did do your research, didn't you? It's a favorite hobby of mine. So that means you know what size underwear Richard wears? Boss! I'm afraid you'll have to barter for that information. Ah, he's great. Oh, you drop a hard bargain, do you? I like that. This is like some great on threesome relationship friendship. You know, I see the perfect trio relationship right here. Great, just great. After a little more discussion, three of us settled on a hotel room of our meeting spot. The unfortunate patrons who had to witness all that, well, they're sent home and promised free drinks when they come back. In this day and age, that's probably enough to risk being shot. Once that mess is sorted out, the three of us head to the hotel with our respective men. I can't even begin to imagine how tonight will end, but I have to hope for the best. Oh, achievement! To continue the story, pick different choices to play through Leslie's route. Both really do want ending, but you'll need to understand both sides of the story. What? 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 There's more? There's another side? Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. This needs to hurry up. This needs to load. Okay. This needs to load. Okay. But you know what? I'm going to leave this episode right here and here. I'm going to leave this video right here. Because I cannot wait to play this. I cannot wait to see Leslie's side of the story. And in fact, I'm just going to leave it here. We're going to find out what's going to happen at another time. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!